Hello everyone and welcome back. Now yesterday, Mr. Wolf had such a fun time here, but he said he would like me to read his version of events from the traditional tale that we read yesterday. But first we're going to do our breathing. So, in this story, Mr. Wolf claims he didn't huff and puff. You will see what he did, but we're going to practice our huffing and puffing. So when I try my bum, you're going to close your eyes and we're going to do a big breath in through our nose and we're going to blow those houses down, okay? 3, 2, 1. Big breath in through your nose and blow that big house down, that straw house. And another one, big breath in through your nose and blow that stick house down. Now this could be a really big one, breathing in through our nose and try and blow that brick house down and again and again. It's too strong. So I'm going to read you the true story of the Three Little Pigs. It's by Jon Scieszka, illustrated by Lane Smith and published by Puffin books. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. Nobody knows, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm Wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were a big bad wolf too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story, it says. Way back in once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold and I ran out of sugar. You need sugar to make a cake. So I went next door to ask if I could borrow a cup of sugar. Now, the guy next door was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? Would you guys like to live in a house made out of straw? So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't just want to walk into someone else's house, so I called, "Little pig, are you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed, a great sneeze. Uh-oh. And the whole house has fallen down. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig. Dead as a door now. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger, just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar, so I went on to the next house. The guy who lived there was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the doorbell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, Wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed, and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Choo! And you're not going to believe this, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honour. Do you think he's telling the truth? Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it open, so I did the one thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as my second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, Wolf! Don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole pack of sugar, and he wouldn't give me one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake. Oh, when I felt my cold coming on, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin." Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the police drove up, of course I was trying to break down little pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. There is the big bad wolf. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And there he is, behind bars. So that is the wolf's version of the story. Now, for your activity today, you can make a wanted poster for the wolf. I know a few children in my class have already done one of these, but if you haven't done one for the wolf, you can do that. Or you can do it for the policemen or the news reporters if you believe the wolf's version of the story. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.